Well, boom, shake the room. Look at this. We've got a beautiful break-even question here. Margin of safety, bit of profit down here. Gotta love this stuff. Right, so let's check it out. First up, what is meant by the term break-even point? Okay, right, so we've got this break-even graph here. It's relatively straightforward to pick this information out, despite the fact that the graph seems to not come out brilliantly here. We can see our break-even point is 2,500 units. We could refer to that in our answer here. Right, so at 2,500 units of output, total revenue equals total cost. Profit loss equals 0. So that's all great information. You could also put down the break-even point calculation in terms of the number of units. So that is, of course, BEP equals your fixed cost divided by that unit contribution price minus variable cost. Great stuff. 2 marks in the bag. Now, let's move it on. Next question. The Cornish Cheese Company produces 4,000 kgs of Cornish Blue per week. Using figure 3, calculate the weekly margin of safety. Show your workings and the formula used. Okay, all right. So when it comes to margin of safety, just remember that we work this out via actual output minus your break-even point level of output. So thus we're looking at 4,000 units minus our break-even point 2,500, and that will tell us that, of course, we're looking at a margin of safety of 1,500. Okay, super. Right, let's finish this up in real style now. So the Cornish Cheese Company's weekly fixed cost 10 grand. It sells Cornish Blue at a price of £10 per kg. The variable cost of producing Cornish Blue is £6 per kg. Right, okay, now calculate the weekly profit the Cornish Cheese Company would make if it produced and sold 4,000 kgs of Cornish Blue per week. Show your workings. Fine. Okay, now just coming back to this question here, we can see this margin of safety is simply the difference between our break-even point level of output here, okay, and the actual sales here. So it shows us how safe we are beyond our break-even point. The higher your margin of safety, the safer, the stronger the business. Right, so the Cornish Cheese Company has weekly fixed costs 10 grand light. Now we know how to work this this sort of question out. Total revenue minus total costs, the long way of doing it. And if you can from there, you want to look at your total revenue and your total costs at that level of output, and just work out this point here. Okay, so what is the difference right there? That will tell you the answer. You can see I can't quite make that out there easily. You could give it a guesstimate if you're in an absolute rush, but of course we want to do a proper job on this, so let's finish up. So to work this out, we've got to do price times quantity sold. To work this one out, we've got to do fixed costs plus total variable costs. Okay, this is very much the long way round of doing this though. So we can see that the price is £10. Now then you multiply that through by 4,000. Okay, so 4,000. Then you put in your fixed costs. So what are our fixed costs? Well, it's 10k plus our total variable cost. Now to work out our total variable cost, we've got to take the individual variable cost of £6 and we've got to multiply that by 4,000 there. Okay, so that's what that calculation will then look like, and then you'll use this part to actually then take away this part. Okay, so you can see from this the total revenue is clearly 40,000. Okay, anyway, let's just show you the way that I do this every time. I would just use this margin of safety figure. I'd use the margin of safety and I'd times that by the unit contribution, which is price minus variable cost. Okay, because then you're just looking at this area here and to what extent the actual price is greater than the variable cost in that area alone, and that's why it works beautifully. So therefore, to do this, you've therefore got 1,500 multiplied through by the price minus the variable cost, and the price was of course £10, minus the variable cost at £6. Okay, so we can see that's £4. So let's just do that calculation. So 1,500 times 4. Okay, well, it tells us the profit is 6,000. Okay, what an absolute steal. We've crushed that, guys. Now, if you want to go back and practice this, go back to the start of the video and see if you can manage to rehearse that and do that yourself, or try one of the other calculation videos we've got on here. All right, great stuff, guys. It's been a pleasure as ever. See you next time.